Well, first of all, welcome to this podcast by Sharda Knowledge Center, and thank you for accepting my invitation. I know you are working full time, you are doing so many other things, you must be very busy, but I have known you quite a bit over the last decade or so. But thank you for sharing more information, and I'm amazed with your journey. I knew it had to be inspirational, and I can see starting as an apprentice at Imperial Hotel and now winning Citizen of the Year 2021 award from a Hero Award from the Indian Film Festival, Tourism, Hospitality, and Catering Award, and many others. I won't read them all. So your journey must have been very interesting. And most recently, you have become Dr. Daman Shrivastav. You have done a PhD at this age. It is amazing. It is more amazing for me. While I did the traditional way, undergraduate degree, PhD, and all that, my mother did PhD when I was a grown up young man. She finished the year I joined IIT. So I see that what you have achieved. So I have said enough. I would like to hear from you about your life journey, about the lessons you have learned, about meeting challenges, overcoming difficulties, and what would you like to advise young people? So over to you. And once again, welcome, Dr. Daman Shrivastav.
Thank you, Dr. Nandin. I'm very humbled for your nice words, what you just said. It's truly, really thankful of yourself that you thought that um, I'm like I'm able to come to your show. Thank you, and I really uh, like to say to the audience is hopefully they'll not get bored with my story.
We'll make sure they don't.
Which is, first of all, I like to acknowledge the land we are here,
Thank
the
you.
wonderful people, the past, present, and emerging. We are here. So,
And
um,
I like to add to the traditional acknowledgement is I like to thank the original inhabitants of this land to let me share the bounties of their land. Thank you
absolutely,
for reminding me.
absolutely. So, my journey starts from my childhood, basically when my father was in a Central Water Commission. He was an architect.
Okay.
We are a family for four boys,
Okay.
middle class family. Um, Hard those days, in 80s and when growing up, late 70s and 80s. Um, I I was a art student, so not very bright like yourself, Dr. Nalin. There's one of those
I will
art.
share mine. I was what you are calling not very bright. I was exactly the same. I've shared with my students who will watch it.
Yes. So
But you are bright. You were not getting top marks, maybe. That's
correct.
what you mean?
Yeah, I'm one of those students, who gets 50%. I was over the moon. This wow.
I was the same. Let
Yeah.
me clarify. In my till ninth grade, I was the same. We won't share my story too much. It's your story.
Yeah, so my ambition was initially like year 12, we just watching all the glamour of five-star hotels. So that's how I came into industry. Um, Wanted to be front of the house where you wear the dinner jackets and bow tie and it looks very fancy five-star hotels. So I told my dad, I want to go to the industry and do my career. So my dad said, okay, I have a friend of mine. He's HR in Imperial Hotel. Let me have a word with him, what he says. And then he came back next day. My dad, he said, listen, Dr. R.P. Singh, his name was, and he said, if your son wants to be in industry, he has to go in the back of the house, catering, kitchen. 1981, I'm talking about. Being even in a hotel industry was not a very glamorous or a career those days. He said all the parents, they wanted their kids to be engineer, doctors,
Yes, I
name
know.
it. So I told my dad, no, I don't want to be, cook, Khansama. And,
Mhm.
and then my dad said, okay, then, just you continue your studies and we see how you go. Because I was in year 12.
Okay.
Yeah. And then apparently I went for the interview in Imperial Hotel in my white shirt and khaki pant. That was my
Right.
uniform. Because I grew up in not a English medium or convent school, just normal government school, where
Mhm.
the talia used to be provided from the government. We eat free meals provided in school. So
Oh,
yeah,
can you name the city, the school?
yeah. So we were in a Munirka, Delhi first. Then we moved.
Monica, I know very well.
Yeah, yeah. So and then we moved down to Trans Yamuna, Jamna Par, a colony
Okay.
called Indrapuri.
Okay.
Loni border, that's that area. And there was a school called Loni Inter College. So it was a
Okay.
government school.
Okay.
So on the way to school, there was a Gurdwara.
Uh,
So I used to have my langar on the way back
Okay.
from the school. So
Wonderful.
my dad was I said he was a architect, senior architect in Central Water Commission,
Oh,
but he was a writer as well.
okay.
And because the government servant was not allowed to have a second income, so he changed his name as a Rakesh Shrivastav.
Okay.
And on his group there was a writer. I'm sure you might be knowing Kamleshwar, Murli Manohar Joshi, uh,
Uh,
Harivansh Rai Bachchan. So
wow.
that was their group of writers that time.
Wow.
So that was his second income, writing story. He used to write stories in Dharam Yug, Saptaik Hindustan.
Okay.
Yeah. So so and then obviously he had his full-time job. So it was hard for those days to feed four young boys family. So there was extra income for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we grew up like really a tough life in a sense, like not a luxury, but um, uh,
Adequate.
yeah, just to understand how hard the parents works. And since year 10, I was like 2 months summer holiday. I used to work in a factory.
Oh, you did. Wow.
Yes, yeah, I worked in a factory just to
I see a lot of commonalities. I'm not interrupting you, but
yeah,
so many things I'll take a few moments to because I'm getting full. I did my high school from Sarojini Nagar Government School number one.
yeah.
Not in school, but when I was in IIT, I wanted to be a mechanic. I used to go to car workshop and for free, I used to repair cars and scooters and all that. So we have similar background.
Yes, I was like sort of ambitious, who wants to do something? I said, no, I work. So I used to work there was a factory complex like in Indrapuri where there was a pharmaceutical factory where they used to wash and dry bandages, pack and all the stuff. So I used to work there and used to, sometimes I delivered from Trans Yamuna up to Dholakua on bicycle.
All right.
Did that.
Again, one thing common. I had a bicycle. I have gone all around Delhi from IIT to Nai Sadak to buy my books. My friends used to be surprised.
Yeah.
Again, please keep going.
And so I was just like, I want to do something or I want to become something, and there's no limit. And because all of my elder brother, all three brothers, we were in the same school. So, and I was the last one of the four. So I used to get my eldest brother used to get a new uniform. Then it's passed on to the second one, and the third one. I used to get the worst, with the patches on the trousers and shirts, the oldest one. So I used to get all those. Uh,
Same with me. I had an elder brother, then a sister, then me. All the books and sometimes clothes
everything.
would come down.
Yeah, so it's passed through all those things, and I used to get that all at the end. So, but I had one thing. I had Zunoon to be something. Like I was not in English. As I said, my English started from year 5 in government school. From there, we learned A, B, C, D. To be honest.
I know.
And one year 10, year 12, when I went to Imperial Hotel, back to Imperial Hotel, and joined IHM Pusa 3 years diploma course.
Okay.
And in Pusa College, all the students, they are mostly 80 to 90%, they were from the convent school. They speak very hi-fi English that time. And I was like, feeling embarrassed because, I thought that a language is the measure of intelligence. So, if anybody,
That's the impression we are given.
yes, if anybody can speak English, that they are brilliant, they're intelligent, and so on. So what I started doing, there used to be a book called Rapidex English Speaking Course.
Okay.
So I bought that book and I start reading and studying and standing in front of the mirror,
Wow.
doing acting, sort of how to speak English, recording
Okay.
my voice and listening to that. So I just self teaching myself,
Hmm.
just to get into that group and just so I'm not left out of the pack.
Right.
So I started learning during the day. I used to go to the college. Evening, I continued my Bachelor of Arts evening
Okay.
classes from
Oh,
Shamla
wow.
College.
So
So
like two courses simultaneously.
that's right. Yeah.
And
So
which college were you going to for
there was
the?
a college in Shahadra called Lal College.
Okay.
Yeah. So that shortened. I got extra 3 years of my life doing the bachelor at the same time while I was doing the diploma in hotel management.
Wow, that's amazing.
So my first job when I graduated from Pusa, and my first job was with the Oberoi Hotel, Delhi,
Okay.
and then my first posting was in Iraq, Baghdad.
Okay.
Oberoi Hotel has bought management of Al Rashid Hotel in Baghdad,
Okay.
so we were the first batch to go there.
All
I,
right.
I was pretty young. That my first job,
Yeah.
and we flew to Baghdad. My impression was Iraq was Aladdin and 40 Thieves, Ali Baba Chalice Chor kind of things
Right.
in Iraq. So,
No,
and
I'll just interrupt before we go to that one. I've been wanting to tell you this. What you said about, people in five-star hotels look so glamorous, etc. Movies only we saw. And I had never gone to one till I finished my degree from IIT Delhi. And when I was going overseas, I had a cousin. I don't know if he's older than you. He did his degree from Pusa, and then he was working for Lufthansa for the kitchen, etc. So he sat me down and he taught me how to order in a five-star hotel. You're going overseas, Nalin, you will go, somebody will come to you, this is what you have to do, this is what we have to do. So we all have gone through, and for me, English also was the biggest problem, like you are explaining. So
the
wonderful.
five-star
Please
hotel
carry
is
on.
five-star hotel. Like we really wish to. We had a wish we can go and use the toilets and bathrooms there. It was so nice. And when the movie came out, Amar Akbar Anthony at that
Hmm.
time, and Amitabh Bachchan was a waiter and wearing
Hmm.
nice bow tie and dinner
Right.
jackets. That's inspired me. I can be like him. So yeah, so we landed to Saddam Hussein International Airport in Baghdad, and we saw such a modern city. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
country. The country, Baghdad, the capital was amazing, very modern. Iraq is the only country where the three rivers run through the country. The education and the civilization, obviously the old. The hotel we worked in is a $200 billion property, bomb-proof hotel built for Saddam Hussein
Right.
by Skanska Group. It's amazing property. So that was my first job.
Okay.
I went there first time away from home. So most of the time I was crying and homesick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just like, it's leaving the family first time. And then I was ended up into butchery department. So
Oh.
the butchery department have most of the fridge and freezers. You can walk in and it's really. And I actually got really sick. Um, and
And your surname, were you a vegetarian as you were growing up?
no, no,
No,
no.
okay. So
We
you were
belong to
used to
the
meat.
Kaist family. Kais are mostly non-vegetarian.
Okay.
Yeah. And but being very young and away from home, I felt very homesick, and even the management wanted to send me back. He said, "No, you're really too young to be overseas. You're not well.
Oh.
Go back." But I was so determined. I said, "I'm not going back." And
Good on
I'm
you.
going to do. So my first remittance, my dad, I sent as a, I sent the money to
Mm,
family.
mm.
So my father said, no, we don't want any of your money. I will open an account, NRI account in Taj Hotel, where
Okay.
all your money remains in a foreign currency.
Okay.
And what we want as your wishes and our dream is that you do the best profession you have chosen.
Wonderful.
And I was there for 3 years in Al Rashid Hotel.
Right.
All the money was saved there. In the same time, as I said, I was very ambitious. I want to do something. I was looking at what's the best hotel school in the world. So I was
Uh,
looking at Lausanne and Switzerland, or Salzburg
mm,
Hotel School in a
mm.
corner in America, and try to see what's the cost, whether I can get in or not. So my dream was there how I can study further and I can learn further. And in the culinary arts and hospitality, most of the things are in French,
Yes.
the terms in French, and then basically food and everything, the methods. And so we learned some basic thing in a hotel school in Delhi, but once you want to go more in depth, then I said, what is this, what I do? So I went to my
Okay.
executive chef. I said, listen,
Yeah,
I
I
want
can
to.
see on your this thing, you have to pronounce correctly. Your President La Chambre something something. Please tell us what it is.
Yes, so I'll get back to the president of La Chaîne de Rôtisserie.
Oh,
So it's a French gastronomy association.
okay.
I was the president for 2.5 years.
Wonderful.
I went to my executive chef. I say, I want a graveyard shift. That means a night shift.
Mhm.
I said, why, Daman, why you want the night shifts? Nobody wants night shift because it's just against the nature for the. I said, no, I want to learn French during the day. The college Centre
Ah,
Culturel Français,
so you
which
always do double degrees.
yeah. So I got the night shift and I bought a second-hand push bike.
Uh,
And I used to ride my push bike after the duty night shift and go and study French. That about 15, 20 kilometers away from the hotel. That center
this
was,
is still Baghdad?
yeah, still Baghdad.
Okay. You could learn French there. Alliance Française was there.
Yes, it's very similar to Alliance Française. It's a Centre Culturel Français, Center
Okay.
French
Why I
culture.
tell is I recently joined Alliance Française again.
Yeah,
I was walking and I saw where I'm in Perth right now. Alliance Française. Oh, I always wanted to learn French. I paid the fees and everything.
yeah.
And guess what? I had to go back to India. In between, I came back. It's too tough. French is too tough.
It's a beautiful language.
Beautiful. Sound, that's why I joined it. It
Yes,
sounds so melodious, so beautiful.
it
And
is.
that's the attraction, but it has its challenges. Anyway, please go on. I hope you don't mind me interrupting you a little
No,
bit.
no, it's
My
beautiful
podcast
because
is in.
it's a conversation. It's a
Thank
conversation,
you.
and that's
Carry
how it
on.
should be. So I learned French as well because my belief was if you want to learn something, you learn the language, and that will open the window for the culture, the food,
Yeah.
everything, and that really helped me to understand the cuisine, which I
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
was
Correct.
pursuing.
Pronunciation is important,
That's right.
which I
Yeah,
can't do.
correct. And then there was a lot of staff there because Iraqi staffs over there. So to deal with that. The other solution was to learn Arabic. So
Uh-huh.
I joined Jamia Mustansiriya College
Okay.
and I learned Arabic language as well. So
Wow.
that way I can read, write, and speak. So I have my communication skills with the staff and
Oh, you
colleagues.
can read and write as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So I learned these two languages while I was in Baghdad for 3 years, and then and during that time, I was very much interested in sports. I played table tennis,
Mhm.
basketball, not basketball, volleyball, and
Okay.
we had especially on table tennis and badminton, we played a lot over there. And during that time, like a employee of the month and all those things like that.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
in the eyes of all the managers, everything and I was also looking out some opportunity. So our food and beverage manager, Tim Durrell, uh, approached him and he knew that I want to study further. He said, there's a very good college in London called
Uh-huh.
Westminster College. Um,
Uh-huh.
um,
Westminster is famous.
Yeah, very famous, very good college.
Yeah.
Jamie Oliver from the same college. He joined 2 years after me. So he was 2 years junior to me. Jamie Oliver, if you heard about this
Oh, yeah,
celebrity.
yeah. Jamie Oliver, I see. Okay, famous chef. I watch him sometimes.
So he's an amazing chef.
So when
So
are you making your series of videos?
we have a YouTube channel where
You
my
have?
yes, it's called
Oh,
Dad and Daughter's Cooking Show, where my
yeah,
daughter.
yeah, yeah. I've seen some of it, but I didn't know it's the whole series.
Yeah, it is. We got about 40 videos.
Okay.
Yeah,
I must
40.
share that link in this video.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's a fun videos which we did during the COVID.
Yes, your daughter, amazing. Let's talk a little bit about
Yeah,
her.
we did.
She is your partner in everything you do.
Yeah,
What's
she
her
is.
name?
She's amazing. She got a lot of things she liked to do, and
Yeah, awards also she got, I saw. What's her name?
Dia,
Uh,
Dia,
Dia. Okay,
yeah, Dia
wonderful.
temple, Mandir ka Dia. That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So then I got the admission in Westminster Hotel School in
Right.
London. So I had enough money for the tuition,
Fees.
but
Okay.
there were not enough money for to live there and things like that. But I flew to London because I really wanted to study. So I first few months were hard. You know, we had the accommodation problem and all those things as all the students goes back. Um, Food, I used to have a slice of bread with tomato ketchup. I had it for weeks. That was the
Okay.
best option to have.
And
Uh,
you are becoming a chef.
yes,
Weren't you allowed to eat what you cooked?
so it was just going back to the hotel school again, so do the further studies. So during the day, I used to be in a school, hotel school. In the evening, I used to work like a kitchen hand or waiter or
Okay.
the cook wherever I used to get a job. But I worked with some amazing chefs that time, and
So
amazing.
my question was to people who might want to do such a course, when you make some dishes in your hotel school or as a chef, don't you get to eat what you have made?
Yeah, so we get to eat. We see the as you say, the chef never eats; they taste. So
Right.
basically, yeah, they do get to eat. Yes, obviously they
Okay.
need to know what they're serving, what they're cooking, the
Mhm.
flavor profile. They have to understand the
Mm.
color, texture, shapes, size, and the nutritious contents on the
Yeah.
food. So
Okay.
there's so much of things goes in on the plate what the customer receives it. So it's a whole knowledge and skills the chefs put in on the
So
plate.
there are theory classes and practical classes.
That's right. And then that starts like, it starts with the basics, basic culinary skills, and then goes to the supervisory skills, then to the management skills.
Right.
And they're divided into different levels, like certificate three, 4 diploma, advanced diploma, bachelor, and master. So it's all levels there, and that's all can be related to culinary and hospitality.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I'm just reading in this thing. You've done a master's from in business and hospitality management from Victoria University, where I taught for 25 years, but in
Correct.
IT. Yeah, yeah. And then there was a, why I'm asking that question is there used to be, have you been to that, not call it a cafe, but a special restaurant right on top of the building, K building?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
This
yeah. We
yes.
used to go and have lunch there sometimes. Unfortunately, never met you there. Maybe our times didn't match up.
The thing is that what I want to say to anyone who's listening this podcast, this is the boy from the middle class family can start a humble beginning, but we can achieve, if you have a focus and we are disciplined
Yeah.
and we never give up. Everything is possible, and I am the live example of that. Just I couldn't speak a word of English up to grade five. Still, I can't speak English properly. But anyway, but
You're being self-deprecating. You're speaking very well.
yeah, but see, we and I did from, let's say, cert three to cert four to diploma to advanced diploma to
Yeah.
get certificate, to bachelor to master to PhD.
PhD. I am
From
really interested whenever you like. What is your PhD topic? And you can, but carry on in your
Yeah.
sequence as you are
So
going, please.
it is possible. It's just a willpower. Uh,
Mm.
that's the main thing, and just to facing the challenges comes along the way, and that's how we can
And you
achieve.
had some health challenges also
Yes,
recently. You're
yes,
happy to share something
yes,
whenever you want.
absolutely. I will. And in England, so I worked in a few places, and I graduated, and I worked at places like Dorchester, Savoy hotels,
Okay.
Ritz. They're all great, and some great chefs in
What
London.
was the atmosphere like? Did you ever feel, we talk about in Australia also, discrimination, etc.? If you did, what level it was? How did you handle it, if there was any?
I see when it comes to discrimination is I will say I just want to be very blunt. I feel that we have more discrimination in our own country. The
Of
caste,
course, agree.
region, the height, the color.
Yes.
Yeah, I never felt discriminated
Okay.
in Australia or UK, anywhere, even in Middle East. Is I think is our own perception how we take
Mhm.
it.
Good.
That if you feel yourself being discriminated, you can take anybody's any behavior. You say, oh, you can turn it out to your own interpretation. That oh,
Mm.
I'm being discriminated. Other person say like this. It's
Right.
all up to us how we take it.
Mm.
And you actually don't get, in my words, in my opinion, you don't get discriminated. You discriminate yourself because you made up your mind that you are being discriminated.
Ah.
Yes, so this is what it is.
You give a subliminal message,
Yes, so
it
this
comes to you then.
correct, correct. If you want to be, you decide to be a victim, you behave like a victim.
Mm.
You will be victim. Even the other person not doing anything. You just interpret yourself. Okay, that means that. Yeah, okay, that's what that means. We assume. We
Even
start.
a joke, I'll share at this point with people who are listening, young people who come to Australia. My first job in Australia, 1984, I went to a site. I worked like a mechanic installing computers, even though I had a PhD. But I got the first job, I took it. And I went there, and somebody, I don't remember the joke, but they said something which I did not understand. I was new to Australia. And I went to my work and I told my boss, who was another story. Uh, then he phoned those people and they said, no, we said this thing to him. I don't remember the details, but then he explained, Nalin, they were joking. This is Aussie way of having fun.
Yeah.
Slowly, I learned it's every country, every society has a different way of having fun.
That's right. And that's the reason when I learned French, that I actually understood not the only food, the culture, the behavior. It's just
Mm.
like coming to Australia. And when you come to Australia, you have to learn, how, if you live in Rome, just become like Romans.
Yeah.
It's just simple that you have to understand. And like if I'm in Melbourne, if I want to really I really go into footy and understand what AFL is. You
Mm.
you know you have to live, we are living in the country, this is and sometimes, as you said, it's a joke. For them
Mm.
it's a joke, but if you take it seriously, it's a
Mm.
completely different thing, so I never felt
Very
being
good.
racism, whether with whatever country I travel the world, but I never felt,
Mm.
because we can see in my career also, I was managing, and I was in leadership roles in the different
Okay.
organizations. So if the racism or this kind of there, I wouldn't be there.
Mm. Yes.
It's all your own capability and how your skills and knowledge. I think this is what matter. Especially country like Australia. I mean, I
Mm.
travel. This is like this is a heaven. It is a
Yes.
it is a heaven.
I
When
agree.
you look around what's happening around the world.
Yeah.
The country, we are free. You're free to practice what you like. You're free to believe what you like. You won't find it, and that's the truth. That's the
I
truth.
sometimes tell my students in the very first class, if you think you are having challenges in life, let me tell you, you are the top 5% lucky people of the world. The fact that you're sitting here in this classroom,
That's
that
correct.
itself, oh. So do not take challenges as if it's something bad. They are good for you.
100%, 100%. And so when back to England, when I got, I put my paper for we call green card and so on in home office. My passport was there, but I got a call from my dad that my mom's had a heart attack, second heart attack.
Oh, sorry.
Mhm. So I went to the home office where my passport was there because we need that for going back to the country. And the officer said, if you go back, you can't come back. You lose the opportunity of being a citizen of this
Of
country.
UK.
Mm. And
Okay.
to apply from there, all those things. And I still remember I told in the counter, I said, there's no country is better than my mother. So,
Yes.
and I took and I said, if I'm capable enough, I will travel the world. That is
Yeah.
later on. But at the moment, I want to go and see my mom. So I left everything and I flew back to India from UK. And I joined Moria Hotel,
Okay.
ITC Moria Sheraton that time,
Yeah.
while looking after my mom. She was in hospital. And I used to manage the restaurant called Pavilion in Moria.
Mm-hmm.
And after a year and a half, I was with my mom straight after the work, and just taking here and there, and just making sure that um, she had me all the time. After 1.5 years being in Delhi, um, working for Moria and looking after my mom, she passed away. And then the same hotel, Al Rashid Hotel in Baghdad, they contacted me and said, Daman, you want to come back? You have done your studies and so on. We'll offer a executive position now uh,
Okay.
and come back. So they offered me a job as executive sous chef, which is the second in charge of the hotel
Wow.
operation in the kitchen. So I flew back to the hotel, same hotel where I left to England
Right.
in 1989.
Right.
And that was a very challenging time for me because when I left Al Rashid Hotel back then, I was like what you call a cook. When I came back, I was a manager. Their manager,
Wow.
and those people were same. Like,
Okay.
so I become their boss.
Oh, your friend's boss. Very
Yeah,
difficult.
friend's boss. And that's how I have to handle
Hmm.
everything, and there has to be a fine line between friendship and being there, so getting the most outcome. But that was good. I managed well, and then we heard in the news that Saddam Hussein has attacked Kuwait.
Oh, that's the time.
That's the time. If you remember the Gulf.
You're speaking a lot. I'm gonna take a sip of chai. If you ever need to take a break, just that's fine.
That's okay. And then invasion happened, and America attacked
Yeah.
Iraq. And we were in a hotel. I'll say Al Rashid Hotel, one of the very big hotel, reputed
Mhm.
7-star hotel. And then we saw all those things happening. Then
Oh.
we saw the crude missile coming and drilling the
Oh.
underground, killing the women and children in charcoal. All the journalists were staying in our hotel.
Oh.
Peter Arnett, ABC, BBC, and all because that was the safest hotel.
I see.
Yeah, and
Where they won't be attacked by
correct.
Americans. Okay.
That's right. So American knew that they are journalists, and
Mhm.
the world knew that the journalists are there. So we were a little bit safe. But we used to wear the gas mask, the big, long gas,
Right.
because of the chemical attack.
Yeah.
That's what I used to tell my students here. And
And
what?
you were bachelor still then?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So that's what I used to tell them during COVID. I worry about this mask. We used to wear that mask. That really hurts and heavy.
Real gas mask.
Yeah, that was a gas mask. So so that I saw all the damage, collateral damage during
Wow.
the time.
Yeah.
I was a chef for the hotel. I had because I have seen the poverty, I have seen the hardship of the food, and I've seen Iraqis that time, the good time, when their food was the caviar and lobsters and foie gras, gold,
Oh,
wrapped in a gold leaf and everything. And the time changed within a day, and they have to eat from the bin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so those I have seen those in front of our eyes, and I've seen that our friends are missing. Where they gone? They died. They
Oh,
died. And, so it was pretty bad. I've seen that I used to take food from the hotel, go against the bombing, and the women and children, they were hiding in underground shelters, bomb-proof
right.
shelters, to take the food to them. Because in
Mm.
hotels, still we get a lot of food which is not used, and so I used to take the
So
food and have them out in my capacity.
I'm
So
just thinking, let me just clarify for the audience. This was the first attack, right?
right.
To my knowledge, which is obviously incomplete, that the fighting happened in the desert only.
No,
I didn't know
no,
the
I'm talking
cities were
about
being attacked.
that. It was no. It was Baghdad, all destroyed.
Oh my God.
Yes, yes. We see that it's completely.
By this is with the elder Bush, when the elder Bush
That's correct.
attacked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
senior Bush. Yeah, senior one.
Okay.
Yeah, George W. Bush.
Hmm.
Um, I served a lot to the community at that time, and then war finished. Obviously, you have seen, if you see which movie came, Air something,
Airlift, yeah.
Airlift.
I
Yeah,
have friends who were taken by bus and then flown out of
yeah. So everybody came from Kuwait,
Kuwait.
from
Yeah,
through Baghdad to Jordan. The
yeah.
airlift has shown very little of it. There's a lot more actually in
Okay.
reality happened. So we were in Baghdad. We have seen the people coming from Jordan, from Kuwait, and in a very bad
Yeah,
condition, and then left. So, and from Baghdad, there's Air India flight. The government of India has sent the flights, and everybody was evacuated.
evacuated.
Them, and the one who could not go, they were obviously they were in a refugee camp in Jordan, Amman. And for Amman, everything was organized. But
But
before,
you didn't think of leaving?
yeah, that's a good question. No, I didn't.
Oh,
I refused to go.
okay. It's very
So,
brave.
and then everybody was saying, why, Daman, why don't you want to go back? Everybody's go back and saving their
Yeah,
life. And my justification was, when we wanted to earn money, we
we
came
came.
to the country where the one dinar, Iraqi dinar, was 3.5 US dollar
Right.
at that time. I said, when we needed, we were here. Now these people need us. Now we're running away.
Mm.
So I refused to go. I
And
didn't
what
go.
was your attitude towards the attack by US at a personal level?
But see, it's become quite political. See, we
Yeah,
don't want to go in details what was the Iraqis thing. So I will look at the social perspective of it.
right.
Damage. I don't have much interest in politics, but what I saw, no matter what, the civilians, they suffered.
Civilians. So whatever Saddam did,
Yeah,
it's not the civilians who had done that, but if the
correct.
civilians suffered till Saddam was
Whether
finally
Saddam did or
executed.
George Bush did, doesn't really matter. Even
Yeah.
the American forces, they must have been soldiers who died and they had a family.
Mm.
They must have a children.
Yeah.
It's a both sides. When when there's a war, everybody's a loser.
Yeah.
Simply, whoever wins, nobody wins in a war. This
Nobody wins.
this is
Absolutely.
how I believe. No
Human
one.
beings have not learned that lesson even after the Second World War.
Correct, correct. We all know that, we all have learned the lesson, but it still happens. So, whose fault was there? I think I'm not the person to judge. But what I have seen, that it was not good. It was not nice. It was sad, in one
Very
word.
sad.
It
Yeah.
was sad to see mothers are losing children, and brothers. Everything. The pieces of bodies scattered around. The head is there. The legs
Oh
is
my
there.
God. You've seen that.
Yes, and we've seen that, the whole body has become a charcoal. It just is a lump just sitting there, and then we realize, now it's a human thing. So it
In the
is
streets. So you saw this when you went out in the street.
correct, correct.
Even though your hotel was safe, you were going out
Yeah,
sometimes.
but our hotel was safe, but as I said, I used to go out to feed the people.
Oh, yes, you mentioned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You've
So
always been doing that then.
yeah, we can
What
see.
you're doing now is not new. I
No,
will just
it's not
add
new.
to it. During COVID, you fed so many people.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
not new. I felt more safer in COVID than
in Iraq.
in Iraq, even though it was bombing. You know, so that's the thing, and so I refused to go. Now the war was over, and then they started to rebuild, and then I heard that Mother Teresa, if you know, Mother Teresa came to,
Yes.
yeah, so Mother Teresa came to reopen some of the churches which was bombed,
Okay.
destroyed in Baghdad. She must have, I think, Sister Nirmala, top of my head, she was the second person with Mother Teresa. She came with a group of nuns, sisters.
What was the other name? Nirmala?
I think this was Nirmala, but I remember Mother Teresa, obviously.
Okay.
But she had a second in charge, Nirmala. But
Okay. From her charity itself.
that's
Okay.
right. So she must have heard about my work, and she said, Daman, come with me. It's a son. She said, son, come with me.
All
Uh,
right.
so I went a few times with the Mother Teresa and clean up the church and
Oh, okay.
cleaning up the walls and things. So she,
Okay.
so that's a good memory in my life that I was able to be selected by a holy person.
Somebody like Mother
Yeah,
Teresa.
Mother Teresa. I was
Because of what you were doing, not just for no reason.
yeah, but that was really like I feel blessed on those. Anyway, then the war was over that time, and people are like start to resettle and things. Then my general manager is Iraqi guy. He was Mr. Ghazi, his name.
Mm,
He said, Daman, now you have, you were here in 1983, then you went to England, you did the high studies, came back, you had a good future, you know. Now the
mm.
war is over, and then you're 3 months after the war, you know.
Right.
If you want, just pursue your career, and
Yeah.
So I decided to leave that time, and only way to leave Iraq, Baghdad was by road. Still, things were like everything was from Jordan,
Mhm.
and I have so what I did, whatever I had, I just donated to my friends and everything. So only had at 10 US dollar because all our money was frozen. There was no value. I had my bank account in Barclays, London, but everything was frozen. So we had no money. So I had only 10 US dollars. So because I was a senior position in hotel, so we had to contact all the officials, embassy officials used to come. So one of the Afghani Charles affairs, they used to get their salaries from Damascus, Syria.
Okay.
So they said they are going to collect their salary in Syria, so they're going through Jordan. So they gave me a lift because that were diplomatic cars. Diplomats, so that is much easier to cross the border.
Mhm.
So I just grabbed few clothes of mine and things, and then I left Baghdad by road.
Okay.
And then when we crossed the border of Jordan, Iraq, and they said, Amman said, where do you want us to drop you? I had nothing. I had no accommodation. I had no plan. So I said, just
Oh,
drop me in Intercontinental Hotel. So they thought, because I was senior position, I would have some money and stuff. So they dropped me in the lobby of Intercont Hotel in Amman, and they left to Damascus. And I standing there, and they said, what to do next? So I just went to the downtown and sat on the street. I had some cufflinks and some silk ties, which were still there. So I sat on the street, and I remember I had a squash racket. I used to play squash, and a hat. So these a few items I sat on the street. I sold it for a few
okay.
dinars, and I got like a few dinars. And then there was a GPO because that time you can make a call from the post office.
Yeah.
And I called my dad. Said, Dad, I'm in Amman now. I'm alive.
Okay.
And so Dad said, okay, come home. No, I said, I don't have money. Like I don't, I want. He said, I will send you the ticket. I said,
Mm.
no, Dad, I want to travel the world. So I didn't want to
Oh,
go back. I
okay.
want to travel the world, and I'll be in touch with you. And so when in JPO, there's small like a cabin kind of thing. So the next cabin, there was somebody who was listening to me.
Oh,
And when I came out, I saw two Sikh people,
okay.
and I still remember them, Ratan Singh and Anmol Singh.
Okay.
So I said, Monday, कौन हो तुम? मैंने
Uh,
I said, uncle, I came from Baghdad, and like I'm just here. And by the time when I went to downtown selling things, and I checked into one very small, like place to stay, like a hotel kind of thing.
yeah.
And I said, so what are you gonna do? And when he heard my story, he said, "Okay, we want to help you." And
Mm.
they were a contractor, like Thekedar kind of thing,
Oh,
the
okay.
builders for the King Hussein's buildings and all those. They were the builders, and they say, come and you are very talented. You'll definitely get a job here. Any hotels will take you.
Right.
Then I say, Uncle, I supposed to be out in 78, 72 hours from this country because I'm in transit.
Right.
So I'm illegal now. So I become illegal because I didn't go. 78 hours are passed.
Oh, okay.
So, and if I apply anywhere, nobody will hire me because I'm
You're
illegal.
illegal. Yeah.
Illegal. I cannot. So he said, okay, son, come with us.
Mm.
So I say, Uncle, I can't come with you because I don't have money to pay to the hotel where I'm staying, that room. It's just like it's like a in Delhi street in Paharganj you get those
Right.
hotels.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, yeah. So I say I can't come out. I can't even check out because I don't have money. The money I had, I made a call to my dad.
Mm.
So I can't. He said, don't worry. So they came and they paid the bill. They took
Okay.
me to there and they had a group of labor. They used to sleep on the floor.
Right.
So I slept with them,
Mhm.
and they say, "You don't do anything. You use our where we're staying, and you try to find work, and they will find something." So I applied few places, but they say no, we can't take you until you have a valid visa to
Yeah.
work. Simple that. Then couple of days I tried. Then I told Ratan Singh, Uncle, I said I can't. I can't just sit there. I will come with you to your site and I'll work. So I start working as a laborer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was a laborer, stones, all those, so I become a laborer from the senior executive from seven-star hotel in
Uh,
Baghdad, where I had everything, chauffeur, the rooms in the hotel and everything, and I always become a laborer
mm.
in Jordan. So in the construction side. And
Wonderful.
then there was a job there in Dead Sea. Dead Sea is a very fertile area near Palestine, that belt. So there
Oh.
are orange farms there. Uh,
Mm.
so I went there. Ratan Singh say I have friend there, some jobs there. So I went to Dead Sea and I become a work with as a farmer and just plucking just like you go to Mildura and all those orange
Right.
farms.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just very
Fruit
similar.
picking.
That's right. So I
Yeah.
became a fruit picker over there.
Okay.
So I was just very hot condition, Jordan, desert
I
areas.
see.
So I started doing that. And then the owner of that, he was watching me. He came to one day to me, he said, you don't look like a food picker. Who are you?
Mhm.
So I said, then I told him my story. I said, this is what my story is. I was the executive chef by the time I left from Baghdad. I studied in the UK and blah, blah, blah. He said, what are you doing? I said, what are you doing here? I said, I have no choice. I'm illegal and nobody gives me a job.
Right.
In this. So he said, okay, I have a someone come from Palestine, from Kuwait. He's Palestinian. He's a businessman, and he's planning to open a French restaurant in Amman.
Oh, okay.
Will you be interested? I said, you must be joking. Of course I'll be interested. And
Mhm.
I said that person is a relation to King Hussein.
Mm.
He's in some kind related to them.
All right.
Yeah. So he gave me the number. I called the gentleman. His name was Nasuh Kilani.
Uh,
And I spoke to him. He said, all right, gave my background and talk about my portfolio. He said, okay, whatever you're saying is all right, but you have to actually come and show your
Show
skills.
us
Yeah.
you can do.
Yeah. So I said, come and cook in my house. So his house is like the house is like a palace. So
I
he
could
gave,
guess.
he gave his mates and everything I invited general manager and food and beverage manager of all the five-star hotels in his house.
Mm.
I had to create 7-course meal
Right.
with 2 mates he provided in his home. So I created the meal and they were really happy and they got a job.
Okay. In the new
So
hotel.
in the restaurant they wanted to run
Okay.
that restaurant, they wanted,
Restaurant.
and the restaurant called La Coquette.
Okay.
Okay, so I said, where is the restaurant? He said, no, it's not built yet. Like, we haven't set up yet. So I said, what? What I have to do? I said, you have to start everything with a sketch. You
Use this.
hire the staff, you set up the kitchens and everything, the menus and everything.
Okay.
And and we give the accommodation and we give the until it's set up. I said, wow, that's really good. But then I said, I'm illegal. He said, don't worry.
We'll make it
Everything
like.
will be sorted out now.
Okay.
And then they gave me the ticket. He said, go home, stay a couple of weeks with your family. You've been away with the war and all. And then we'll send you the proper visa. You come
Mm.
back. That's what they did.
So you could get out when you're going out, they didn't create a problem. That's why you were illegal.
No, because it's from the king. So everything went, they are from the
Okay.
king family.
Okay.
So everything. So you can see how,
Otherwise, if you had not gone through them, crossing border, they would have said, "Oh, we are illegal," isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. I would have been in jail.
Mm. Uh,
So you can see how the thing changes in a flick of seconds, you know. Uh,
do you believe in changing the topic a little bit, a bit of luck or karma or destiny or what?
I am not sure, but I believe in nature. I believe in some kind of power around.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I said, if something will happen, has to happen, it will happen.
Right.
So you
A
know,
bit like that only.
hmm,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm proud to be born in Hindu family, but I respect. When I
Oh.
was in England, I used to go in church. I studied Bible.
Mm.
When I was in Iraq, I studied Quran Sharif. I,
Okay.
I used to go to Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. I used to go to Karbala, uh,
Okay.
Najaf. I have a very good faith in all the religion
Oh,
because I understand. And it's just for me, in personal view, that it's just like a one person set and just have few print out. So all the sayings and beliefs is almost the same.
I see.
It is. It's a different copies. Whether
Okay.
it's a Bhagavad Gita, it's a Quran
Different
Sharif, it's a
languages, the same thing being said,
correct,
like
correct,
translations,
correct.
almost.
Almost, almost. So
Yeah.
if you really look at it and really go in depth of those
Yeah.
holy books, it's almost the same. There's no difference. They all teach you the good thing.
Mm.
Whether it's the Quran Sharif, whether it's the Bible, whether it's the Gita, or any scripture from Buddhism, or
Yeah.
Jewish religion or Jainism. It's almost the
Absolutely.
same. There's no difference. No
The
difference. It just
problem comes with the interpretation.
correct. Yeah, that's right. And this is where the things. So yes,
Yeah.
so that's I went back to India, came back, set up that restaurant, La Coquette. Long story short, that Coquette, the French restaurant become very, very popular. The king was
Okay.
not coming to dine in. Prince Abdullah, who's the king now,
Yeah.
that become his favorite restaurant. I become
Oh,
very
wow.
popular, very famous there in
So you
Amman.
met him personally as well?
Yeah, I got his longines. He gave me King Hussein with his signature in a dial and
Okay.
crown in a dial. The longines I have. I got his own personal hockey. He used to play hockey. His jacket. So yeah. So
Okay.
he knew me very personally. He loved filet mignon with mushroom sauce. That was his favorite.
What is that, please? For the
Uh,
I
that's
would I would like throughout
Yeah,
before you
that's a
leave.
tenderloin, the tenderloin of beef.
Okay.
We wrapped around the bacon, uh,
Okay.
grilled and finished in the oven, with the mushroom sauce. So that was his favorite meal, which he liked the way I did on that French restaurant.
Okay. I like mushrooms, but
Yeah,
not
obviously, yeah,
the other way.
yeah. As a chef, obviously, that's the thing. We
Yeah.
have to. This is our profession, so we have to think
Look,
beyond anything. So we look at the satisfaction of the customer,
yeah.
what the customer wants.
Absolutely. An
So
important
that is
point you mentioned. When you take on a job,
yeah.
You
Yeah,
have to be true to what you're
right.
expected from that job. Either don't take it, or if you take it, be true to it.
That's right. And that's what, like, if you tell the customer we are serving vegetarian meal or a vegan meal, we make sure that it is a vegetarian vegan meal because they trust on us. They
Yeah.
trust on chef, So, and they don't even know the chef. They don't even seen the chefs.
Mm.
They don't know what's happening in the kitchen, but there's a trust.
Yeah.
So it's ethically, we have to do the right thing when
Yeah.
nobody's watching.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that from there, all the hotels were after me. They start offering me a job, back to the hotels. So I joined Sheraton Group of Hotels,
Mm.
and working on as an executive chef in Sheraton Hotels called Regency Palace Hotel. We were called. I was, and during that time, I got married uh, to Sharon. This is my first wife over there. My son was born, Anbha was born in Jordan.
Right.
And after 1 year, we decided to think like where we called home. And I was tossing between America, Canada, and Australia. I was always fascinated with Australia.
Okay.
I used to get a magazine and the produce of Tasmania. Tasmania was my favorite place. With
Oh,
produce because we used to get a
but
lot.
how did you know about Australia? Because I didn't know anything before I came here.
No, because as a culinary hospitality, you've got a lot of produce comes from Australia. The lamb,
Okay.
all the best produce from there. The
Yeah.
seafood. So that's how we knew the produce. And then when you start looking at where you want to migrate, well, these are the Commonwealth country, Canada and
Right.
Australia. So I had an option of three countries to be
Okay.
apply for the PR.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently, when I did my research, I found Australia the best in as a multicultural wise, the climate
Okay.
wise, and the bringing of the family.
Right.
So there were my three criteria, to go. So I'm not saying the America and Canada was
Good.
not good or wasn't
But
good.
you
But
chose
nothing to do. That
Australia.
was my own evaluation,
Yeah.
which I
No,
did.
which is
And,
absolutely right. We are so lucky to be in Australia.
yeah,
And I didn't make a choice like you, but I'm so lucky that I landed here.
yeah,
I'm in Perth these days, and I don't know if you know this couplet. Gar firdos barrue zami asto, hami asto, hami asto, hami asto.
Bahadur
Because
Sarjan.
looking for Kashmir.
Yes,
If there is heaven on earth, here it is, here it is. This is it, whichever way you interpret. And I say that for Perth, Australia in general, but Perth in particular. So we're very lucky. But I was wanted to add that I had no idea what Australia is when I came here. At least you knew where you were going.
yes.
Good, please go ahead.
Yeah, so we came to Australia, and then again, I have to start all over again because when you come to Australia, you have a challenges that okay, we believe you that you have done, you studied in England and you done worked everywhere, but you don't have a local experience.
Local experience, I know the old thing.
Yeah. So my things were that if you don't give me a job, how would I prove? So you
Yeah,
say, okay, so that's the if you get that breakup, then you're all right. The first job is always that's why I say
always a
if anybody
challenge.
listening to this, first job is always difficult.
It's that catch 22 for everybody.
That's
And
right.
we will stick to this for a moment because this is so very important from the audience. I'm expecting my past students and other people, young people who are listening, they come to Australia. There is this frustration, what you said. If you don't give me a job, how will I get a local experience? So, how do you break into it? Your experience is going to be very important.
Yes. So what I did, I used to have a trolley where I used to carry all my certificates, but too many. I didn't give up. I said, okay, if you don't give me a job, how I prove? But one thing everybody has to remember, no matter how qualified you are, you have to go step down or steps down to restart again. Don't expect you're going to get what you have overseas. There are difference. It is different here.
Yeah.
It will be no matter where you have studied or whatever, do everywhere. It's not only here.
Yeah.
When you start a new job, even here, you find things are different.
Yeah.
And you are coming to this country and you are starting completely new career in a new country.
Yeah.
The new people in the sense they have a different culture. So you have to deal with all those. So if you jump in, if you start from the bottom, I'm not saying go right in the bottom, you take it. If you wait for, I was something on executive position overseas, I want the same position, you never get it.
Yeah.
Even you
I'll
get it,
share a few experiences, people who have come to me. I was lucky, I got academic job with a PhD here and all that. But since then, I have done few certificate 4s, and I'm currently also doing a certificate 4 in mental health because I want to help people, and we have a lot of people with mental health issues in Australia. But if I want to take a job in that area, till I have a certificate 4, nobody is allowed to give me a job in that area, even though
right.
I think I'm competent to help people. So doing a local certificate, and I won't give too many stories. So many people who came to me over the years, what do we do? I said, do a local certificate or something which proves that you know how to do this. That's what Australian certificates prove. And you have done that. I'll pass on to you.
Absolutely, and that's very important. Just go back a step. Start, take the opportunity. Even it's not your field, get into the community, get into the society. Understand that, and make your way up again. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you're 2 or 3 years behind, it's okay. It's all right. But once you get in there, you are working with the people. You are working with the local people, multicultural people. You really have to understand. Australia is a little bit different. You know, people.
Yeah.
One thing is that the people are very nice. You know, they support you. You know,
Yes.
people are not aggressive here. You know, so the environment is so clean. So it's not all about the prestige and the title. It's about the lifestyle. And Australia is the only country they won't let you die hungry. Even don't have a
That's
job.
right.
You know, we as a community we look after people. We look after people. So so that's why I say, first of all, no, don't give up. And you touch a very good things on mental health, and that's a problem in our community and every community that people have the mental health issue, but they don't come up and speak up.
Yeah.
They don't do not acknowledge that they have the mental health issue.
Mental health issue.
Yeah,
They
and
sometimes don't even fully recognize that what I'm going through is a mental health issue
correct.
because there is a stigma attached to it, even acknowledging that I have a mental health issue.
Yeah. And I acknowledge myself, but I had a mental health issue when I grew up. Because the environment you grow up, sometimes you don't recognize, and it become a pattern in your life.
Yeah.
And then later you realize, okay, even you are not responsible, but somehow the circumstance are
Mm.
responsible that you just thinks is become it's a normal thing. So person
Well,
has
Dr. Daman, it is so interesting to keep talking to you, and I can talk to you for a few more hours. And I think we need to talk for a few more hours. But how about we close this podcast and have another one to your whole Australian journey?
yes, I think
Would
that's
that
a
be
good idea
useful?
because there's a lot more. There's a complete different stories will come up
Yes.
from
There is so much more.
1994.
I didn't know the stories you have shared right now. I didn't know about those. I know more about your Australian background, being your link to you on LinkedIn, etc. But even there, I don't know everything. And as I said at the very beginning, your story is absolutely inspirational. It has so many lessons for young people. And we are ending on a very interesting topic about mental health. And in the future, I might produce podcasts on that as well, especially as I go through my own course, which I'm doing. I'm attending online course with the Australian Medical Association every Friday to do this course in mental health. So that I want to keep working. And even after retiring, I have been doing various jobs and I love doing different jobs. Like we have so much commonality, I can see. So, uh, to end today's podcast, which has come to about an hour, would you like to end with a message for people? But please promise that you will come back for another one to
Yes.
do the Australian story.
Yes, so obviously my Australian story is also again is a rocky story to start with, and but again very inspiring. for
Yes.
myself and other people.
Yeah.
And I'm writing my autobiography as well, so which will
Wow.
be coming out.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So all we are
We can
talking
make a
about,
movie on it.
yeah, more will be coming out, more details here.
And this is perfect, like a serial. People want to know more. They will go and watch the
Not
second
more
podcast
there,
as
and
well.
what I would like to say, I think being honest to yourself and putting out to the community and the people, because if you just keep it to ourselves, we're not helping.
Hmm.
So if we have something, I think we speak out, we ask for help, and
Okay.
we bounce back. We just like the harder, the tougher time comes in a life. It's just like the harder you bounce the ball, the higher it will go.
Harder it goes up, more it goes up.
So it happens, and it happens with everybody's life. If somebody says
Absolutely.
my life is nice, smooth sailing, they're not telling the truth.
It's boring if it's too smooth sailing.
Yeah, it's smooth sailing. It's not true. So the thing is, it is important to keep the patience. We are human beings, is ups and downs always there. Keeping the patience, keeping the goal, set up the goal. Otherwise, you'll be ship without rudder. So wherever the waves takes you, you go there. So if you have a goal in your mind and you try to work out, how the things, have a dream. You know, if you don't have a dream, what there's nothing to come true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What will come true? You don't have any dream, so you don't just dream. At least
But
dream.
don't think you achieved everything. There should always be more that you want to achieve.
There's so much
That's
to
what you're
learn.
calling about
So much
dream.
to learn. I completed my PhD, but I think that I haven't learned enough. Still, I have to do some more things.
Absolutely.
So, as you said, doing Cert 3, Cert 4 in different areas, it's so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, I can see so many, and that's a full, at least 1 hour podcast.
Yes.
So, with that, I would like to thank you so much for coming. It has become even more inspiring and interesting than I expected it to be because
I
I
didn't
didn't
even feel
know
it.
all the things you have shared.
It's not just a podcast, like, it's our conversation so interesting that, it's just free flowing.
Absolutely.
And it's a life story, so it's just so easy to narrate, to say it, because I
And
don't have to
yes,
think and talk. I'm just speaking what actually
and
happened
you
in
have so much to share. I'm sure you had to cut short in various scenes.
Yes, I did actually. So because I was mindful all
Wonderful.
the time, but it will be my pleasure to come back again to your
Thank
podcast. And
you. Thank you. And people, those who are going to watch this, keep looking for the next one. So thank you very much. And namaskar to you, to all the audience, and hope to see you soon again. Goodbye.
thank you,
Cheerio.
thank you.
And what do we say in French? Au
Au revoir,
au revoir.
au revoir,
In
bientôt.
German, auf Wiedersehen. फिर मिलेंगे. All that. Okay. Bye.
Bye.